For this week's Sammy Southern Stops, Fox 14's Sammy Petracco visited Biedenhardt Museum and Gardens, where he learns the history behind the Biedenhardt family and how they helped Coca-Cola grow.
Well, since I've been doing Sammy Southern Stops, I've been hitting a lot of spots, whether that's food, places, or museums, but I really haven't hit this one spot. So for this week's Sammy Southern Stops, I'm visiting Biedenhardt Museum and Gardens to learn a little bit about their history and what they have to offer. All right, I'm with Ralph here at the Biedenhardt Museum and Gardens. Now, I have a lot of rich history behind the Biedenhardt family. What is some of that history that is behind this?
Okay, well, number one, I think we got a cool museum. I'm always telling people there is no other museum in the universe that has a Coke museum, a Bible museum, a historic house, and a garden. And so far, nobody's shown up to dispute that with me. And I think the question you get is, well, why are those things all here? And it starts pretty early on. In 1894, Joe Biedenhardt is the first person to bottle Coca-Cola. And so he didn't invent Coke, he didn't invent or design the bottle, he just put those two things together. And as far as the Bible Museum, Emmylou Biedenhardt had a musical career in Europe all during the 1930s. And when she got back to the U.S., she wanted to share things she had seen in Europe, and she had also started collecting Bibles. And so this Bible collection became the museum. The garden that's behind the residence was inspired by gardens that she had seen while she was in Europe.
Are you having other attractions that you kind of implement?
We're a very active place, so I usually have one or two exhibits in the Bible Museum a year that are art exhibits. We've just taken one down that was 63 local artists, and we've put one up by a guy named Sato Watanabe, who's a Japanese native who was converted when he was 19 and did Christian art. We do things like upcoming, we've got a Mardi Gras gown exhibit that we do with Crew of Janus. You know, I tell people, get on our website, get on our Facebook, because we're constantly having activities and appeal to various age groups. This museum, lots of people come here, they're not quite sure what to expect, but what I really like is when people leave and they say, wow, that was really beyond what I thought it was going to be. So I think we do a good job of representing the community.
Rich history behind the Biedenhardt Museum and Gardens, of course, with the family name, but also with the first bottling company with Coke, and also the house they lived in and the gardens that are behind me. Beautiful, I should say, and of course couldn't end out with heaven without grabbing myself a good old Coca-Cola here. As always, if you have any suggestions on what I should do and where I should go next, you can always send me an email down below. Reporting in Monroe for your Arkansas News Source, I'm Sammy Petracco.